time of the Nes of Chanukah, when Klal Yisrael was endangered by the Greeks, when there were decrees against the observance of the Torah, the performance of the rituals in the Beis HaMikdash, we witnessed the great miracle of Chanukah, that the Pach HaShemen, container of oil, which under normal natural laws should have only lasted for 1 day, lasted for 8 days. Now in our times, we seem to be witnessing similar events when nations are arising against Klal Yisrael, when the Jewish people are endangered, Rahmana litzlan, when the Koach HaTumah, the forces of Tumah, seem to be waging a war against all that is pure, all that is holy, against the Torah itself. What can we learn from the Chashmonaim? What can we learn from the Nes of Chanukah to apply to our times, to push back the darkness, to bring a koach, the power of Kedusha and Tahara, to Am Yisrael and to the whole world? In Parshas Vayishlach, the Torah says, Vayivaser Yaakov levadoi ve'avek ish imoy ad alois hashachar. Yaakov Avinu was left alone. A man came up against him and wrestled with him until the morning light. Vayar ki lo yacholoi vayiga b'chaf yerecho vateka kaf yerech Yaakov behavko imo. And he saw that he could not overpower him, so he then he injured his thigh. Chazal teach us that this man that came against Yaakov Avinu was the Sarah Shel Esav that wrestled with him. And why did Yaakov Avinu go? Why was Yaakov Avinu left all alone and vulnerable to the Sarah Shel Esav? Chazal tell us that he went back to bring back the Pachim Ketanim, the small vessels that he had left. And why did he go back to bring these small vessels, these small containers? Why did he put himself in a dangerous situation? The Megala Amukah says a wondrous thing. He says that these Pachim Ketanim, this Pach, was the Pach Shemen of the Chashmonaim. The same Pach Shemen, the small container of oil that the Chashmonaim found that lasted for 8 days. What is the connection between Yaakov Avinu's Pach Katan, his small Pachim, and the Pach Shemen of the Chashmonaim? The physical world is limited. It has limitations. The world of the spiritual is not limited. And we find throughout Tanakh that the Pach Shemen, there was a Pach Shemen that under natural laws would be limited, but through a miracle, through a nes, it lasted for days, it lasted an unlimited amount of time. The source of this Pach Shemen, is the Pach of Yaakov Avinu, that through his Mesiras Nefesh, to be Mekadosh Shem Shamayim, he found that Pach Shemen, which he anointed on the Mizbeach, which he anointed on the Even, on the Matzeva, to be Mekadosh Shem Shamayim. He risked his life to bring back that Pach Shemen that should be Maisa Ava Simla Bonim, that should be for his children. And throughout history, the Pach of Shemen that will bring enduring, everlasting purity. The Pach Shemen that would push back the forces of darkness, that would overcome the physical world and transform it to the spiritual. That was the Pach Shemen of Yaakov Avinu. At that time, when Yaakov Avinu was vulnerable, before Alois HaShachar, before the morning light, in the darkness of the exile, of the Golus, the Sarah Shel Esav, that man that wrestled with Yaakov Avinu, Chazal tells us, with the Sar of Eshel Esav, that wanted to destroy Klal Yisrael. And when he saw that he could not, Vayar ki lo yocholoi, when he saw that he could not destroy him, at least he wanted to remove from Yaakov Avinu, from Bnei Yisrael, that koyach, that ability, that power to transform the physical into spiritual. He wanted to create a disconnect between the spiritual and the physical world, to relegate the spiritual to some corner of the world, and where he would dominate the material world, the physical world, unencumbered by Yaakov Avinu's influence. And he tried to separate the top part of the body, the spiritual, so to speak, from the bottom part. And therefore he dislocated his hip. And that's why we do not eat the Gid Hanasha. But the Pasuk tells us, Vayizrach lo Hashemesh kasher over as Penuel v'hutzolei al Yerecha. But the sun shone for Yaakov Avinu. The Rebbeinu Shalom healed that wound. That disconnect was healed. And Yaakov Avinu and his children and Bnei Yisrael have the power to transform the physical to spiritual through the same Mesiras Nefesh, the same selflessness that Yaakov Avinu exhibited, risking his life to bring purity to the world. And that's what the Hashmonaim exhibited. When through natural means there was no possible way to overcome the great Greek army, and when they did, through their selflessness, risking their lives for the Rebbeinu Shalom, for the Torah, for purity, for the Beis HaMikdash, they pushed back the Greek army. They brought Kedusha and Tahara to the world, and that same Pach Shemen was found. They discovered the same Pach Shemen of Yaakov Avinu, which under natural law could only last for 1 day, lasted for 8 days, symbolizing the koyach, the power that Am Yisrael has to transform the physical to spiritual, the power that we have to push back the forces of darkness, of impurity, to bring Kedusha and Tahara to the world. And with that same Mesiras Nefesh for the Torah, for the kavod of the Rebbeinu Shalom, we too, now in these times, in the times of darkness before Alois HaShachar, when it seems that the world is engulfed with the koach of Tumah, with impurity, we too have that same power. With Mesiras Nefesh, elevate the Torah, elevate the kavod of the Torah and the Rebbeinu Shalom, and push back the darkness. The Zohar Kodesh tells us that when the pasuk says "Vateka kaf yerach Yaakov," the yerach, the thigh, is what upholds the person. Ba'achris hayamim, in the end of days, at the end of this dark exile, there will come a kitrug against the Talmidei Chachamim, against the supporters, the kaf yerach of the Torah. And they will seek to undermine the Torah by undermining the support for Torah. But Yaakov Avinu wrestled with the Sar Shel Esav. We inherited that ability to wrestle against the forces of darkness, against all odds, and to succeed. The Rebbeinu Shalom should grant us the same koyach, the siyata d'shmaya, the ability to face this challenge, to elevate the Torah, the koyach of purity, of Kedusha and Tahara, to bring light to the world, and we should merit to see that Vayizrach lo yashemesh, that the sun will shine for us brightly, heralding in the times, the days of the Goyal, Bimhera b'yameinu, Amen.
Yeshua.